Good afternoon. My name is Gerald Panneton, Chairman and CEO of Gold Terra Resource Corp. We're busy working on a high-grade deposit in Yellowknife.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
I think they might name this bench after us when we're finished.
Maybe. We can always sign our name, but I think they're going to erase it at some point. I feel the varnish is also sticky.
It's very warm. It's very warm. Hey, look, I caught you in the main hall doing the rounds, 100 miles an hour, 100% energy levels. Everyone knows you. What are you here telling people? What do you want from this conference?
It's a funny thing. It's a good question. What do you hear? What's the mood of the meeting? We just came out of Beaver Creek. We just spent a week there. Look, markets are markets. We don't make them. We adapt to them. If people don't want to buy any share in your company for whatever reason, don't try too hard.
Right.
They'll come back. We are not maybe in a timing for speculator, for investor, for retail, to pay attention how cheap it is to invest.
Right.
I think the biggest picture is about, what is happening to the gold price, the inflation, the commodity, the raising the interest rate. The Fed will be talking this week. Of course, these two conferences back to back are different. But do you think do you think they can also be surviving into this current environment? Probably not. Probably not.
Well, I think what we saw up in BC, Beaver Creek, was a lot of smaller companies trying to meet new investors. Well, obviously speak to shareholders, but also trying to speak to new money. And I'm not sure that was there for them, because as you said, it's tough environment at the moment, right?
The mutual fund industry in Canada, the resource fund industry, has shrunk a lot from the days that I did and built Detour. You have to realize that we're not like post-financial crisis when gold went up to $1,900 meters in a short term. This current market is a market unsettled. What's going to happen next? And so when you talk to people or you listen to the panel at the lunch and you listen to those three gurus that are very different background.
Who were they?
Pierre Lassonde, Frank Justra, and Robert Friedland.
Yeah.
So you go to this and you listen to those guys. My job is not to interpret what we're saying or support one ID versus the other one. My job is to find gold in a safe jurisdiction like Canada.
Ooh.
That's the way I see my role. Look, I've been, Matthew, for 40 years in this industry. Like you said, I'm known by a lot of people. Some people even call me a legend of building Detour, because I did that from almost like in a good timing. Don't get me wrong. The timing was almost perfect. But, my stock went all the way to $20. Financial crisis brought it down to $3, and then we brought it back to $40. So markets have their wave, have their crisis. But at the end of the day, I always believe in gold, physical gold. I'm a lot more about physical gold than digital gold. Digital gold can have its place, yes. You will never replace physical gold.
Right. So what's your message, though, to retail investors? Like, a lot of small companies probably need you to speak for them in the sense that, what's your message to retail investors in the sense that you just said timing is important, but at the same time, cycles come and go, right? They come back, they go, right? So right now it seems risk off, no one's putting money in, but is this a good time to invest?
Well, this is a hard question, because I could tell people to invest today.
Yeah.
And we make tons of money in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Or we have to wait 6 months.
Yeah.
How long will this situation last? We still have 1 year away from a U.S. election.
Yeah.
The last year before U.S. election, it's always a good year for the stock market, but necessarily for the gold. They try to pump the U.S. dollar to be strong. You have a strong U.S. dollar, you're not going to have a strong gold. Globally, and I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
But I believe in some of the things that I've heard. The global situation is not very good. We look at inflation, you look at People wants to get out of the U.S. dollar, but the U.S. dollar is still strong because they're still the biggest consumer on earth. 400 million people consuming in the U.S. And you can see how much it's lavish, right? Poor and lavish in the U.S. In my mind, you don't invest in gold today because you're going to make money tomorrow. But I think a lot of people would like to see that. Take your money and run. For me, gold is an investment, an edge against inflation, currency. I'm going to give you a small story. When we pour our first gold bar at Detour, which was 8 years after I started the company, I was holding the bar, and we offer employees, shareholders, consultants to buy some of the gold. Gold was $1,575 an ounce, $1,545, $1,575 in February 2013. So 10 years ago. And the US dollar, the Canadian dollar were at par, 1 to 1. So in reality, I bought it for $1,575 Canadian, right? What is it today? $2,600?
Yeah.
So I made $1,000 on the gold I purchased 10 years ago, which means an 8% return every year.
Yeah, about that.
So it's not buying gold at the right time is never a bad thing. It's buying it at the peak. Everybody bought it on $1,900 and saw it coming down. But if you look at buying gold or investing in a gold company that delivers, don't expect your return coming that soon. Just buy for the long term. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
So you need patience.
Look, I don't need to work. I can just go home. But I love this business of finding gold. I was lucky enough to spend 12 years of my life at Barrick, which was probably one of the best schools I could ever been to. And I was very lucky to have the chance of buying the Detour Lake asset in 2006. And we made it a huge success. Today, Detour is the largest gold mine. This is what you can see. You invest in people, on good project, in safe jurisdiction for the long term.
Right. So in which case, let's talk about what you're doing now. Finding those answers. I know you raised some money earlier in there, so you're not standing still. So what are you doing?
Someone came from Beaver Creek and told me, I met with 100 companies and I told them, save your cash and go in your closet. I'm not like this. I will not be waiting 2 years for the market to come back. I'm going to get to the market. I'm going to adapt through it. And I'm going to make my company better by finding gold.
Okay.
What we're doing now is a target of 2 million ounces below the Corp mine. We've already outlined about 500 to 600,000 ounces near surface. We have maybe 600,000 ounces left in the mine. If I find 1 to 2 million ounces below the mine, I'm in business.
Right. Okay. So you know what you've got to get after. You said to me before, I even know where I would put the plant. I know where I put the tailing. You've already got a sense of that now. So
when the PEA come next year, after our next update resources, since I joined the company in 4 years, we already put the resource 3 times. Very transparent.
Okay.
Very 42-101 oriented, disclosing everything. Once we do the next resource, it'll be followed by a PEA.
Okay, so you're moving through the phase.
Yeah.
You also know what target you've got to set. You've set yourself for this.
How much does it cost to build a mine? How many ounces do you need to find?
But what interests me when we speak is you've got the mindset of a mine builder. You've not got the mindset of a market promoter. Do you know what I mean?
No, I build value.
So you say that the things you say are important for the company in terms of where it's at to be able to get to one where it can build a mine, not just, well, what's it going to take to get people excited?
It's your choice. You can make a lot of money with the promoter in gold, and your vision, your strategy is 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. But if somebody can build a mine and be much stronger, then you just put it together.
Yeah.
But it could take... We were very lucky. I don't think it's feasible to do any project that is not permitted. You cannot build a mine from IPO to gold production in 6 years like we did at Detour. You know, but the moment I have 2 million ounces, the moment I enter permitting process and I keep finding more gold and I go through that process, you know, the biggest footprint is always the mill. Where do you put the mill? What makes sense for a mill? It's always about logistic and thinking about the people because it's a social license. If you put the mill back in town, on the brownfield project like the Con Mine, you're going to have to re-permit dust and noise.
Yeah.
And what does people don't like? Dust.
Yeah. So it's never going to get through. So tell me.
Not necessarily, because we do have a mining license.
Right.
We just have to change the activity, but you could piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you put it 20 kilometers north of town,
Yeah.
it's not far.
Different game. Yeah. So right, in terms of like it's a difficult market for everyone, okay? So I'm not taking any CEOs out about share price, going down, because everything's really been hit really hard. But at the same time, you've got to get that balance between managing your money carefully, saying we are advancing the story, meaningfully, not just sitting back and hiding in the closet, as you said, but, moving the company forward, but also the best allocation of capital. For every dollar, is this the smartest way to spend it in this market? So you've had to be agile. You've had to adjust your thinking, right?
Yeah.
So what is the future look like?
Ongoing.
Ongoing.
Look, I
This
spent
market,
the whole
yeah.
summer. I had to travel for a week at Yellowknife to host some guests. I went to Yellowknife mid-July, and then I'm a thinking machine. I could get up at 2:00 in the morning, and I'll go get up and put my ideas on the table.
Right. So what's concerning you? What's worrying you? What are you thinking about?
Well, I think a lot of people are trying to survive in this market.
Yeah.
So the best way to adapt to this market is to be smart about it. And I'm very fortunate. We are working on a high-grade deposit that is in town, that costs $200 per meter all in, with all the services. Everybody goes home at night. We don't have to worry about the social environment of a camp or whatever it comes with. Look, I like the jurisdiction. I like the high-grade potential. The ground can deliver many million ounces more than we are going to work on. Look, we drill a hole where we hit 33 grams over 3 meters. That's a GT of 100 back in the winter of 2022. I only have one hole in that zone. Imagine like I just need to put another 10 hole and I have a small deposit.
Yeah.
Or a big deposit.
Yeah.
Or a rich big deposit.
Tell me this. You came into this project, right? You had a chance to look at this project when you first started.
Before, yes.
And you thought, okay, I think there's something here. Have you changed your mind about what this can be?
No, on the contrary, I'm even more comfortable about what we're doing in our strategy.
Yeah.
And it's the right one. Yellowknife has legacy, negative legacy from the 90s. It's fine. It's okay. But the legacy is behind us. What is in the future? What is in the present? And what can we do in the present to make the future better?
And?
We are working on it. It's going to all come out in the PEA next year.
Okay.
We're going to look at green energy. We're going to look at, making sure the mill is not in the wrong place. The social license, the environmental license is take the time to listen to your host. Take the time to listen to First Nation. Be there to be a contributor, not a takeaway.
Good.
We're there to contribute to this community.
Right. You're confident? With social license, I hear you. Planning, thinking, I hear you. Do you
have some dollars?
I have many dollars. Where do you have the feeling that this company will be around to be able to take advantage of when the market turns?
I think this company will be around for sure, but who knows? Somebody can decide to buy us out because we're valued at $5 to $10 an ounce, right? Which is ridiculous, You don't even find gold for $10 an ounce.
I know.
Okay.
3 times that maybe. If you're lucky.
More than that. Some people spend $100 an ounce to find gold.
Yeah.
Our drilling cost is low. The last resource, we calculated, we spend, say, I don't remember exactly how much we spent, but we calculated on our presentation, and it's $6 an ounce. The 540, so we spent $3 million.
Good.
This is how you create value. And in reality, in this business, it's all about people and what they're doing.
It's how much more to find 2 million ounces, 2 more million ounces of reserve resource.
Reserve is a big name.
Yeah, no, sorry, I meant resource.
2 more million ounces will require approximately $10 to $20 million,
Okay.
which comes down to $5 to $10 an ounce.
Okay. Timing of PEA, so I didn't catch that.
Next year, after the next resource. Update the resource,
Right.
and then
Before the end of the year.
in 24 for sure.
Okay.
Sometime in 24.
Okay.
But the precedent for a PEA is to show that we have enough ounces to have a good deposit.
Okay. Well, look, I got in a lot of trouble for dragging you out. There's people you need to see. We left
Do I?
we left a certain Mr. Doug Silver at his table alone to come out here.
And he
for the-
came up here.
No, I'm saying like you're talking to him in there, but you need to get back to him and many other people. So like, appreciate your time, man.
Thank you so
Always
much,
good
Matt.
to listen to you.
Yes.
I appreciate that. We'll
And
speak to you
in
soon.
person,
Must be.
week of November 19,
Yeah,
121,
London.
London. We're going to be in London week of the
Perfect.
19th of
We'll see you
November.
then. See you then, sir. Okay.